Hello there, you're watching Bizworld. Malaysia's economy grew 4.4% in the third quarter of 2019, recording similar growth in the same period last year, boosted by private spending. To achieve the full-year target of 4.7%, Bank Negara Malaysia's Governor, Datuk Nur Syamsiah Muhammad Yunos, said the final quarter of gross domestic products (GDP) growth must be at least 4.8%.
The 4.6 that we have recorded for the first 9 months, it's already near the 4.7, I said. So the growth for the whole of this year, because employment, we still have full employment, wages are still increases, consumption will continue to be around the 7% growth that we have seen. That will provide support to growth. And on top of that, you have the plants that were shut down in the third quarter that had resulted in the mining sector to be contracting would normalize in the fourth quarter.
For the period under review, headline inflation increased to 1.3%, while ringgit depreciated by 1.1% against the greenback. Net financing expanded 4.8% on an annual basis amid continued growth in loans, while the country's current account registered a surplus of 11.5 billion ringgit. Meanwhile, Datuk Nur Syamsiah said the central bank will continue to engage with index providers and investors to see what other measures can be put in place for greater efficiency in the market.
Pusat Russell has acknowledged the measures that we have implemented in the past have given greater flexibility to offshore investors to hedge their positions onshore. And that has been borne out by the growing volume of transaction onshore in terms of the FX transactions especially, and even the cost of hedging onshore has been coming down. So that is a positive development which even Pusat Russell has acknowledged.
She was speaking at a press conference in conjunction with the announcement of Malaysia's third quarter economic performance this year. The central bank, she added, will also continuously raise awareness on the various options available to address any misperception amongst these investors. Malaysia's plastics recycling industry can generate up to 20 billion ringgit to the country's economy in the future. Thus, Deputy Minister of International Trade and Industry MITI Ong Kiang Ming said efforts must be taken to explore environmental sustainability aspects and the move towards circular economy.
I think this needs to be enhanced. So this I think is a part and parcel of the initiative of the industry to reach out not just within the industry but also to other stakeholders so that more awareness can be raised in terms of what the industry is doing to promote the circular economy and to reduce the reliance on single-use plastics.
He was met after officiating the 18th ASEAN Federation of Plastics Industries (AFPI) and the 29th Asia Plastics Forum (APF) earlier today. In 2018, the plastics recycling industry contributed 4.5 billion ringgit to the country's economy. Ong added that the government will ensure that Malaysia does not miss out on the huge potential in the circular economy by developing a circular economy roadmap (CER) for plastics, including bottles, which will be launched by next year. Increasingly violent anti-government protests and the escalating US-China trade war has plunged Hong Kong's economy into its first recession in a decade. The economy shrank by 3.2% in July-September from the previous quarter. Via a statement, the government said domestic demand worsened significantly in the third quarter as the local social incidents took a heavy toll on consumption-related activities. Subdued economic prospects also weighed on consumption and investment sentiment. Analysts warned the financial and trading sector potentially faces a longer and deeper slump than during the global financial crisis in 2008-2009 and the SARS epidemic in 2003. The government revised down its forecast for full-year growth to a contraction of 1.3% versus an earlier estimate of 0 and 1% growth. Alibaba targets to raise up to $13.4 billion through its Hong Kong secondary listing. Alibaba Group Chairman Daniel Zhang said Hong Kong's future is bright despite the ongoing pro-democracy violent protests and recession which have escalated over the past few days. The shares are due to start trading on November 26, with the retail price capped at 188 Hong Kong dollars each. The share sale is set to be Hong Kong's largest in more than 9 years. Alibaba had earlier considered a Hong Kong IPO in 2013, however chose New York as its primary listing venue after being rejected by Hong Kong regulators. Its US listing remains the largest IPO in history, raising $25 billion. That's all for Bizworld this week. I'm Nadia Azmi. Thank you for watching and keep tuning in to TV3.
Buletin utama malam ini, antara paparannya, 2 remaja didakwa bunuh rakan di pusat tahfiz. Juga tragedi MH17, penyiasat antarabangsa dakwa wujud hubungan antara pegawai Rusia dan pemberontak. Nantikan laporannya tepat 8 malam ini.